after reading Psalms, there were a lot of things that stuck out to me. The first thing is that I don't always really give God the adoration that He deserves. David and the other authors of Psalms were so open and gave God so much praise, but I realized that I don't do that as much as I should. He's such a powerful and mighty God, but I seem to water Him down in my mind and forget just how much He can do. But I need to remember that just because He isn't working directly in those powerful ways doesn't mean that He still can't and still doesn't in different ways. He's so powerful, and the authors remind us that in Psalms. Along with that, I also realized just how fierce and violent God can be. From the Psalms and discussions in class, I realized that God really is a just God, and He does punish people. A lot of the times I can just think of God as like a cute little teddy bear that I keep around for comfort and peace. But I realize that that's really not a good view to have, because I can use that as a cop-out for justifying my sins. And I can think like, oh, it's okay, God will forgive me and have mercy on me, so it's okay if I do that sin. But that's really not a good way to look at it. There are many times in Psalms where it says the author cries out for God to punish their enemies and bring vengeance. So that is just as much a part of God's character as His grace and mercy are. I've also learned to enter His presence with reverence and humility. When I pray, I really need to recognize just how powerful and awesome He is. The authors really emphasized this, and I think that it really stuck out to me that I don't really honor Him the way that I should. The two things that I pray that the Holy Spirit will help me with is to be more forgiving and gracious. In many situations, I really need my heart to be softened to the people that I don't really like, because it can be really difficult for me to have that grace on them, even when it's so clear in Psalms that God has so much grace and forgiveness to everyone, yet I fail to do that in my own life. The last thing that I take away from this is that God should really be like our best friend and the person that we talk to the most. I think it's really clear from the Psalms that David and the other authors were in that constant communication with them, because everything that was written, it seemed so formal, yet with humility and reverence, but you can tell that they are just always in communication. And I feel like I fail to do that in my own life, just because life can get so busy and I forget to talk to Him sometimes. So I think that it's clear from the Psalms that David is always in constant communication, so I need to be as well. And once I start to communicate with Him more, His presence and His guidance will just be so much clearer in my life.